Have you ever seen a creature that is 5 inches long and is pound for pound one of the fastest and toughest on Earth? Well, I hadn't. But this is the story of how I found one 2.5 years ago when I was 17 and how it rapidly changed my life. Northern Kenya, especially Marsabit, the land of thirst, is a very hot and dry desert with volcanic cones, lava flows, and spectacular ground craters. I read about these places just after high school, and it really stirred an interest in me to one day want to visit them. These stories were being written in books and journals by early explorers such as Donaldson Smith, Count Teleki, and John Hillaby. So, young and with a foolhardy passion to explore the land of wonder, I hitchhiked, as young as I was, through the length and breadth of Marsabit. Naturally, Mom was against the idea, but I talked Dad into allowing me, and off I went. Luck struck on my very first visit. Who could have ever imagined that life could exist in this Mars-like landscape? Whilst photographing these scorching lava rocks beyond the remote Chalbi Desert, I was rewarded with an extremely rare occurrence of a large and strikingly beautiful creature. But it all happened so quick that I never got a glimpse of it. It scampered under those rocks and simply disappeared. I did not think much about it then, but a week later, I was back in Nairobi sorting these images with my father when he pointed out and exclaimed, "What a strange spider. Look, it has 10 legs. Next day, I rushed to the National Museums of Kenya to inquire about it. After a couple of hours searching, the scientists concluded that it probably was a new species of its kind. With the assistance of the museum, I made 3 expeditions to search and capture what are now christened Goldie. Eventually, this led to the National Geographic Society awarding me a grant to further research on them. The grant was enough to support a small team dedicated to Northern Kenya, comprising of some local guides, scientist Starina Bird from South Africa in the middle there, and Mr. Mike Clifton of the Nairobi Museum standing next to me in this image. And here is Goldie. It's a pretty amazing creature, isn't it? For its size, Goldie is one of the fastest creatures on Earth and can give Usain Bolt a run for his medals. However, they do not bolt in a straight line like him, but run very erratically, dodging rocky obstacles along the way. This creature has its head and jaws, as you can see, nearly a third of their body size. Their bite is very powerful, but not venomous. To give you an idea of how big Goldie is, I'd like everyone to put their palms out like this. Now imagine Goldie is sitting on it. Goldie would span from your wrist to your fingertips for the average-sized hand. The image you see there is the only one ever taken of Goldie and has remained so, and that image belongs to me. So, the uppermost thought in your mind is, what is this creature? Well, they're commonly known as camel spiders or sun spiders. Scientifically, they are called solifugae. Solifuges are arachnids that are distantly related to scorpions, spiders, mites, and ticks. They're little known as they are rarely seen. Generally, there are 2 groups, day and night. Night active ones tend to be dull-looking, whilst day active ones, such as Goldie, are brightly colored. I'd like you to carefully notice its legs. They're all different sized, with the largest at the back end and the shortest in the front. This is an amazing adaptation that camel spiders have that enable them to run very fast without tripping over themselves. What appears to be a pair of legs in the forefront is actually a pair of pedipalps, thus fooling one into thinking they're creatures with 10 legs. These pedipalps that act as feelers actually have a sectorial organ at the tip with which they can grab flying insects, such as moths, out of the air. During our recent expedition, we found out that camel spiders estivate, an activity of sleeping underground during extremely dry spells, waiting patiently for the rains to fall, thereafter emerging. This is similar to hibernation, except Hibernation is done in extremely cold months. This is an image of creatures we found that are so small. If you can see, these creatures, these are beetles, wasps, and flies that are so tiny, they are roughly a millimeter long, as you can see there in a close-up. To all the children and young people watching this, parents and grandparents, there's plenty to see, learn, and discover out there. And I wish to encourage each one of you to put down and switch off your technologies and explore the many exciting opportunities awaiting the field of geography and natural science. What you can do this Valentine's or Easter is buy yourself a pair of binoculars, compass, and a map, and just go outdoors. You never know what you could discover out there. Thank you.